I remember meeting Royce Gracie in Harbor City.
I heard of that guy.
He's a pretty interesting character. I remember seeing him in a bootleg VHS video, and I told him about it. We were doing a class out at Emerson Knives. It's a knife company, but Mr. Emerson also has like a jiu-jitsu gym there where Royce trains out of. That's his space. And they're teaching how to defend against somebody trying to stab you, and I'm showing them all the ways you can get around that and fabricate and improvise and smuggle things. Basically, the adversarial side of that. That's what I'm known for. The psychology and kind of the ways that people do that. And I remember him seeing some of the stuff that I was doing and just being like, "Where are you from?" Mexico. Makes sense. Somebody from Brazil, tipping the hat to somebody from Mexico, as far as with him seeing the violence and some of the mentality behind it.
So for people who don't know, Royce Gracie is the legendary martial artist that probably introduced Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to the American audience, to the world, through the process of UFC and showing the effectiveness of it in practice, that a little skinny guy can defeat a big, aggressive guy. So
an anaconda, a small anaconda walking into that ring with his family behind
wearing
him.
pajamas.
And I was like, what is this guy wearing pajamas for? And then he would strangle people with those pajamas. I remember seeing that and just having it, I think, probably what a generation before had with Bruce Lee, I guess. My generation was Royce walking into that octagon and changing, paradigms. Seeing him in that gym, is also an avid gun owner and shooter, which is interesting. Seeing somebody like him who is, well versed with his hands, also be a man that has gone into the realm of being well versed with weaponry, which is an aspect of martial arts and the martial way of thinking that some people kind of, the purists will stick with one side of it, but he's obviously a warrior in a lot of ways.
So just as a small tangent, so you're somebody that you don't just look at unarmed combat, you look at the full spectrum of the chaos of combat that's outside of the realm of jiu-jitsu and even just mixed martial arts, unarmed, armed with knives and beyond. Yeah. Was his mind open to the fuller spectrum of violence?
Yeah, I mean, he was in the middle of this class that we were doing where people were basically focusing on both. Ernest Emerson, who's famous for his knives. He has a knife company. He's done knives for NASA, Not only that, but he's also a very avid martial artist. He trained with a lot of Filipino martial arts related to knives and stuff like that. But a different mindset, a defensive mindset, trying to train people how to defend against that. And you have Royce, he's from Brazil. I mean, he has some street in him. That's something that, those guys, those tienen calle, as we say in Mexico. Seeing the ways he would, he stepped in there and provided some encouragement to the people there, as far as, how people sometimes focus on this is a system and this is a way, but there's other ways out there that might negate or defeat the ways that you are concentrating on, So kind of get out of that bubble.